topic is EM algorithm. Okay, this is a algorithm which is helpful in clustering. Okay, and previous lecture we already discussed about clustering. So this is EM algorithm which is very helpful in solving certain clustering problems. So EM is what here? EM is the estimation maximization. Okay, E stands for the estimation and M stands for the maximization, right? So in estimation step, or we can say that this algorithm consists of two steps. First is estimation and the second one is maximization. So in estimation step, we estimate our expectation from machines and then classify the data into some classes. हमारी जो एक्सपेक्टेशन होती है मशीन से, हम उसको एस्टिमेट करते हैं एंड एज्यूम करते हैं, एजम्पशन करते हैं, और उस डेटा को जो वो रिजल्ट निकल कर आया उसको कुछ क्लासेस में डिवाइड कर देते हैं अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर बिहेवियर और एट्रीब्यूट्स. नाउ द सेकंड स्टेप इज मैक्सिमाइजेशन. और जो भी आउटपुट निकल कर आया है, जो भी हमारा एस्टिमेशन निकल कर आया है, देन वी हैव टू मैक्सिमाइज that output. Okay, so in this video we clearly show that there are two steps. One is estimation and other is maximization. So in estimation we estimate our expectation from machines on some data, and in maximization step whatever will be the estimated value, it should be maximized for better results, right? So the EM algorithm constitutes of two steps. First is E step, which is based on the current data, and the second one is the M step, which generates best theory to get best clusters. Now, what is this best theory? Best theory means the assumed theory. Okay, the assumed theory. Whatever will be the estimated value after obtained from the E step, then the machine apply its theory to generate the best output. So there are several applications of EM algorithm like clustering, artificial vision, biological areas, NLP. Now let us take an example to clearly show how the EM algorithm works for a certain problem. So let us take two coins named C1 and C2, and theta 1 be the probability of getting head of coin C1, and theta 2 will be the probability of getting head of coin C2. Okay, so theta 1 probability हमने assume करी है कि coin C1 की जो probability है head आने की वो theta 1 है, coin C2 में जो head आने की probability है वो theta 2 है. Okay, now we will find the values of theta 1 and theta 2 by tossing both the coins multiple times. So this is the data here in front of you. We select 5 times both the coins, either A or either B. We named here two coins, either one coin named is A and another coin named is B. Okay, and each coin toss for 10 times. आप यहाँ देख रहे होंगे सामने कि यहाँ पे दो कॉइन्स हैं C1 और C2. एक का लेबल मैंने नाम लिख लिया A, दूसरे का नाम लिख लिया है B, और उसको मैंने 5 बार सेलेक्ट करा, रेंडमली 5 बार सेलेक्ट करा है. रेंडमली जब मैं 5 बार सेलेक्ट करूंगा तो कभी मेरे पास B निकल कर आया. So this is the B case highlighted. Okay, and then जब B कॉइन निकल कर आया मेरे पास तो उसमें मैंने 10 बार उस B कॉइन को उछाला, तो ये पॉसिबल केसेस आए, इतनी बार हेड आया, इतनी बार टेल आया मेरे सामने. देन सेकंड रैंडमली मैंने सेलेक्ट करा तो A कॉइन आया. A कॉइन को फिर मैंने अगेन 10 टाइम्स टॉस करा तो ये रिजल्ट आया मेरा, इतनी बार हेड आया, इतनी बार टेल आया. देन अगेन मैंने रेंडमली सेलेक्ट करा दोनों कॉइन में से तो फिर कॉइन A निकल कर आया. सो एंड सो ऑन, ये 5 टाइम्स मैंने ऐसे रेंडमली सिलेक्शन करा है. कॉइन ए और कॉइन बी का, और ये सारा डेटा निकल कर आया है उनका कॉइन ए और कॉइन बी का, ठीक है। नाउ वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट थीटा 1 एंड थीटा 2. Again I am repeating, theta 1 is the probability of getting head with coin C1, while theta 2 is the probability of getting head with coin C2. So theta 1 निकालने के लिए हमने क्या करा, number of heads with coin C1 upon total number of flips using C1. Okay, total number of flips using C1, and theta 2 equal to number of heads with coin C2 upon total number of flips using coin C2. So this is another diagram which show all the possibilities of coin A and coin B from this given table. As you know, this is a table here, and we make a separate table, coin A and coin B, and in the first attempt for coin B, we have 5 times head, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times head and 5 times tails. So we mention here 5H, 5T, right? In the second attempt for coin A, there are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times head and 1 times tail. So we write here 9H, 1T, and so on. So we fill up this table with all the given data, with all these possibilities. So guys, we have to now we calculate theta 1 and theta 2 by applying the formula in the previous slide. So theta 1, for calculating theta 1, number of heads with C1 upon total number of flips using C1. So number of heads, total number of heads for coin A. So sum of the heads, 9 plus 8 plus 7 is equal to 24, right? So 24 upon total number of flips. How many flips are here? 24 heads plus 6 tails. So 24 plus 6. So the result of theta 1 is 0.8. Okay. Now for theta 2, the result obtained will 0.45. Okay, so in this manner we have to calculate theta 1 and theta 2 separately. Now guys, look, this is the case where the data are labeled. This is the case where the data are labeled, means we know that these are the first row are the possibilities of coin B. The second rows are the possibilities of coin A. The third rows are the possibility of coin A. Fourth row are the possibility of coin B, and fifth row are the possibilities of coin A. We know here because all the data are labeled here, right? So this is an you can also say that this is an example of supervised learning. All the data are labeled here, but what if the data is not labeled? क्या होगा अगर आपका डेटा लेबल्ड नहीं है? तब मशीन किस तरीके से वर्क करेगी, किस तरीके से प्रोबेबिलिटी एज्यूम करेगी, अपने आउटपुट को एस्टिमेट करेगी, देन मैक्सिमाइज करेगी वो गिवन एस्टिमेशन आपका? उस केस में हम क्या करेंगे? देन दैट केस will be an example of unsupervised learning. Okay, so this is the case here where you have to present unlabeled data. So in that type of cases, initially we assume we have some assumption. Okay, so in the same manner, if we do not know the identity of coin labels, then we will assume or estimate the probabilities. So initially we estimate the probabilities of theta 1 and theta 2, right? So let us assume theta 1 equal to 0.6 and theta 2 equal to 0.5. Then we have to use the binomial distribution to find the likelihood. So what is likelihood here? Likelihood is the nearby solution, means the readings that have the same value. There are look in these types of problem where unlabeled data are present. So So there are number of iterations are performed to find the solution, and in these number of iteration we select the final answer which is same to the previous one, which is closely related to the previous one. So this is known as the likelihood. So to find the likelihood, we use the binomial distribution as this formula, by using this formula. L stands for the likelihood of point. C stands for the point. Likelihood of point equal to theta k into 1 minus theta raised to power n minus k, where k is the number of heads and n is the number of flips. K is the number of head and n is the number of flips here. So by using this formula, we have to calculate the likelihood for first point flip. So LA means likelihood for point A and LB is the likelihood for point B. So number of heads, as you know in the previous data, number of heads is for point A is 5 and total number of flips are 10. So placing this data in the above formula, we get the value of LA. In the same manner, we will get the value of LB as in shown, right? So now find probability for point A as well as B. So by applying the formula for probability, P equal to LA upon LA plus LB. So by placing the given data, the probability of A will be 0.45 and the probability of B will be 0.55. Now this is the final data. This is the final probability data. Look, आपका जब सुपरवाइज लर्निंग चल रहा था तो हमारे पास केवल इतनी टेबल मौजूद थी कि हमें केवल लेबलिंग पता थी और उसमें कितनी प्रोबेबिलिटीज आई हेड की, कितनी प्रोबेबिलिटीज आई टेल की, वो हमें पता थी. अब हमने इटरेशंस निकाले हैं, तो ये हमारा इटरेशन फर्स्ट है. इन दिस टाइप ऑफ, अगेन आई एम सेइंग, इस तरीके के क्वेश्चंस में जहां की हमें कोई लेबल्ड नहीं पता होता डेटा का, या अनसुपरवाइज्ड लर्निंग के एग्जांपल्स में हम लोग इटरेशंस से अपने क्वेश्चंस का सॉल्यूशन फाइंड आउट करते हैं और उस सॉल्यूशन को लेते हैं जिसमें इटरेशन लगभग बराबर आ जाती है हमारी. दैट विल बी द फाइनल सॉल्यूशन. ओके, तो in iteration first we have to calculate the PA, probability of point A, as well as probability of point B. So in the previous slide, by applying all the formula, we calculate the probability of A as well as probability of B for this data, for the first row data. We will calculate the probability of A is 0.45 and the probability of B is 0.55. Okay. So now this is the column point A and point B, and this is the likelihood. LH means likelihood of H of point A, likelihood of getting tail by point A. This LH likelihood of getting head by point B, and this is likelihood of getting tail by point B. So to find the LH for point A, or to find the likelihood of getting head for point A, we use the formula LH equal to probability of A, that is 0.45 into number of heads. So 0.45 into number of heads, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0.45 into 5. The result will be 2.2 here. In the same manner, in the similar fashion, we will calculate the LT, probability of getting tail by point A, right? So to calculate the LT equal to probability of A 0.45 into number of tails. So what is the number of tails here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 0.45 into 5 again. the result will be same. Now for point B, in the same manner we calculate LH and LT for point B. So in this manner we calculate all these values in this table. So again we have to calculate PA and PB by using this formula. Now this K and N will be changed, and what will be these values? This K will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now for the second value, for the second point A, the K will be 9 and N will be 10 minus 9. Okay. So in this manner, PA will be 0.80 and PB will be 0.20. So by using these values, you will easily calculate LH and LT for point A and LH and LT for point B. Right? So in the same manner, you fill all the data here. Now for point A, sum up all the values of LH. Sum up all the values of LH here. 2.2 plus 7.2 plus 5.9 plus 1.4 and plus 4.5. You will get the result 21 point. Then sum up LT values for point A. 2.2 plus 0.8 plus 1.5 plus 2.1 plus 1.9. So you will obtain 8.6. Now to calculate theta 1, applying the same formula as in the previous one, sigma LH upon sigma LH plus sigma LT. So you obtain theta 1 as 0.71 and theta 2 as 0.52. So these values of theta 1 and theta 2 will send to the next iteration, and the whole process will be repeated until we get the stable values of theta 1 and theta 2. Right? So this is all for the